Oh my God. Are you
Ooh.
ready?
Ooh.
Self-sabotage.
Ooh.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt.
Uh,
This one's gonna
are you
hurt.
ready? I'm clutching my neck because I don't have pearls. I don't have pearls.
And why are we clutching pearls?
Because I
We're
do
clutching.
this all the time.
Right. It's like the moment when you're right on the brink of your own personal success. Or I'll speak for myself. There have been times where I have been right on the brink of my own personal success, and then that, negative Nancy in the back of my mind says, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? Right. And there are other ways that that shows up, certain actions, certain ways of thinking about myself, certain ways of thinking about others. Right. And projection, those things happen to sabotage a circumstance, and sucks. It
Yeah.
sucks. And if you don't have the spiritual tools or the things to reroute that thinking, oh, God help you. That's I mean, really, seriously, that's really what oh, Petra, what do you have to say about that? Go ahead, Oscar, brace yourself.
Well, I was going to say, why does it hurt so much, Oscar? Why were you like, oh my God, this is really going to hurt?
Well, because in the beginning of me finally deciding to like go after what I want and to be who I want and to do what I want, and it was always like right at the cusp of like actually getting what I want, is when the shit starts, man. Is when I'm telling you, it's like all the thoughts creep in, but it's not just the thoughts, it's also my actions.
Mhm.
I will also do things that are not conducive to me to getting what I want. Like, what am I doing? Like, for example, I'll stay up all night the night before reading or watching some, or like I should be sleeping. What am I doing? It's like I do things I actively do things that will sabotage what I'm gonna do how I'm able to show up the next day, how I need to show up the next day. And luckily, even during those times, I've relied on talent to get me through whatever it is I need to get through. But eventually, you get so sick and tired of being sick and tired that you're like, "What the? Wait a minute! Wait a minute!" You start to see your own shit. You start to see your
Right.
own patterns, and that's when I found Peter and Karen, and they were like, "We see your patterns too." You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's when I started like, "Oh, I can break out of it." But
Yeah.
before it was just like this endless freaking spiral, which is why I'm like, oh my God, I get that self sabotage. I understand that completely. It
Right.
sucks.
It does. It totally sucks. Yeah, well, I've certainly had my rounds of self-sabotage too, and spending a lot of time really exploring it and thinking about it. I do think, Shakira, you're right that sometimes it's the who do you think you are that you can't do this, right? Um, but I'm not convinced that that's not an excuse,
Yeah.
right? Because for me, this is just for me, as I really began to look at it, I didn't want to be responsible for my greatness. Because, if you shine once, people are going to expect you to shine again.
Mm,
And the more great stuff you do, the more people are going to want you to do great stuff. And the higher you fly, of course, the fear of falling is bigger. Um, and if you never actually, if I never actually put myself out there, I don't have to deal with my own failure, which is inevitable. It's inevitable. Failure is a part of growing and learning and actually becoming a success. Right? I mean, it's an inevitable part of it. But we've also not learned how to deal with our mistakes. We've not learned how to we're basically not allowed to make mistakes, and we
right.
certainly don't allow ourselves to make mistakes.
Right.
And we equate mistake with failure, or with I can't do it, or I'm not good enough. And yeah, I mean, I really, really, really have had to confront in my own life, my own self, am I willing to let my light shine? And I have a lot of evidence in my own personal life that when my light shines big, it pisses other people off. And by definition, if my light is shining big, then the assumption is I'm taking the light from them, or they can't shine as well, which is, of course, complete bullshit, right? I mean, it should be that we inspire each other to shine as big as we can. Not, and we all shine uniquely. Even if we're both, you know, artists or speakers, or all three of us are doing this, right? All of us shine uniquely. So, yeah. But yeah. And so I really, really, really had to confront the fact that while it looked like my self-sabotage was because I didn't believe I was good enough, what it was really was that I wasn't willing to take responsibility for being the greatness that I am. And that, I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm still struggle with that, and then the expectations that I have with myself and that other people have of me. And man, I have been the queen of self-sabotaging. Same thing, right up to the, you know, the moment of something really awesome. And then it's, for me, it isn't usually conscious thought. It is unconscious behavior. Right. So I will behave poorly, or quite frankly, I'll run in the opposite direction. I'll make an excuse. I can't make it. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sick. I don't feel good.
Yeah. I know exactly what that's like.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, my hair hurts. I can't do it.
Wait, what?